Welcome back. You are still watching Morning Live. Now, Sandile Zungu, the president of AmaZulu FC, Usuthu Olumapeshankwane, has confirmed that he will challenge Dr. Danny Jordaan for the presidency of the South African Football Association come September, setting up a potentially seismic election that could end Jordaan's reign at the helm of the national body. We are now joined by Mr. Zungu to discuss his latest move. A very good morning to you, Sandile. Thank you so much for joining us on Sports on Morning Live. And perhaps we start our conversation looking at you are living comfortably, doing well in the world of business. What has inspired this new move of trying to bring a new dawn to the mother body of South African football?
Good morning to you and to the viewers at home. Soccer is a huge industry. It's a major contributor to the GDP of this country. It employs hundreds of thousands of people. So it's not just about the passion that the people have for the game, but it's also about the economy. And I do firmly believe that if we get our soccer right as an industry, not only will the pride of many people be restored, but most importantly, we'll be able to elevate South African soccer to be one of the best in the continent and the best in the world. We just have a few things to sort out, which I believe I need to step in to help sort out. One of them is the culture of misgovernance. We've got to get our governance right. And leading from that is the trust deficit that we currently enjoy or have to endure between SAFA and corporate South Africa. The quality of sponsorship that we are getting, I will argue, in terms of quantity, probably quality as well, I don't know the details, but it amounts to a sympathy sponsorship. We deserve much more than that, but we've got to get our house in order. And there's a couple of other things which are about social cohesion, which are about the elevation of the status of women in our country. We've got to elevate women's soccer. We've got to, as part of social cohesion, we've got to have schools soccer going. It's practically dead right now. So we've got to get on with it and bring back schools soccer. And those are just some of the things that actually drive me to say, hey, the challenge is very important. I've got to step in the fray as invited. And I've got to give it my best shot. And that I will do.
And you speak about stepping into the fray, wanting to give it your best shot, and that's exactly what you'll do. But talk to us about what influenced you to say to those that were trying to lobby you to stand up in these elections in September, what is it that swayed you more than anything to say, yes, you'll put your name in the ring and you'll go into the ring and fight for the presidency?
Like I said, it's not about individuals. It's not about me wanting to unseat anybody. Yes, of course, I'm never scared of contestations, but the inspiration does not derive from an anti-anybody sentiment. It's about what needs to be done. Soccer is a sport supported by more than 50 million people in South Africa alone. And if you compare that to other sporting codes like rugby and cricket, who are supported by far less people than that. Very important sporting codes, by the way. I'm not diminishing them at all. But if you juxtapose those three sporting codes, you'll see that soccer probably enjoys least in terms of commercial support. It enjoys the least in terms of patronage by multiple stakeholders, especially business. It's because of our governance. Before we point fingers at other people, let's look at ourselves. And governance has got to be gotten right. Under my stewardship, I'll want to make sure that governance, accountability becomes sacrosanct. Because it's not about our money, it's about public money. It's about sponsors' money. It's about people's hopes and aspirations. It's about young people's dreams. So if we're entrusted with that responsibility, do the damnedest best to inspire the confidence. So governance, accountability will be sacrosanct, and it's about time that change is brought into soccer.
Indeed, and I hear you speak about what you would look forward to the most and what would be your main areas of concern. I'm hearing you speak about governance. I'm hearing you speak about school sports. I'm hearing you speak about restoring the confidence that the private sector and commercial entities need to have in the South African Football Association, to put the association at the same level as you would see with a SARU or even a Cricket South Africa.
No, absolutely. I mean, think about it. Those sporting codes, their visibility at a grassroots is unquestionable. If you get school soccer back on track, you'll actually address a very critical part of soccer development. But it's about resources. You can't just, wish it through prayer alone. You've got to have the resources. Where will the resources come from? They cannot only come from local government. They've got to come from business. And I come from business. I know exactly what inspires business to take positive decisions. Will you account? How is your governance? If your governance is found wanting, they'll give you CSI money, not real sponsorship money, because they believe the association does not really reinforce and embolden their brand, because you are trash for that matter. So my view is, if we've got to roll out all these programs, support the regions of SAFA, 52 of them, need resources. Some of them have not received stipends and support for a long time. The coffers are possibly empty. And so to build the trust, to attract commercial support, will require the basics to be gotten right. Corporate governance, accountability, and project a good story that you can follow through with implementation. And I believe it's the small things. By the time you get to long-term things, infrastructure, world-class, high-performance center in all the provinces, which are critical, you must have gotten the basics right, which is about accounting for the resources that you've been given. And I think that's basically the low-hanging fruit that I'll have to focus on.
Indeed, and that's great, because we know that there are a number of good private school projects here and there, as well as academies, which have played a big role in creating a pathway for developing future football players in South Africa. But there's still that urge to do more, because we see the likes of a Dr. Theophilus Khumalo now, who was discovered in school structures. And really, that's the contrast that we're not seeing now with football in schools. When you look at your St. Stithians, you look at your Kingswood College, you look at your Cares, in terms of what they've been able to do with the likes of rugby and cricket. But one of those important tasks at SAFA, obviously something that you mentioned, is dealing with the finances. Now, the Premier Soccer League is in a healthy position financially, but the mother body has gone through some trying times, where we've even seen the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture needing to step in. Is this going to be one of your focus points as well, just strengthening that financial muscle of the regions as well, to make them less reliant on the mother body?
No, absolutely, Mangobo. The issue of regions is a very critical issue here. I've been to a couple of provinces just in the last couple of weeks, and the cry for resources is reaching fever pitch. And some are complaining they have not received monies their way for years now. And how do you roll out programs in communities when there are no resources for even transporting officials, let alone the players? So the issue of finances, and making sure that the finances reach the levels, reach the structures which deserve them more than individuals necessarily, is a mammoth task. But I've worked it out that it is possible. But we've got to get our governance right, because if we're going to tap into the resources of the private sector, and not just big business, but black business as well. I mean, historically, black business have been the go-to parties when it comes to local soccer. They've washed their hands in recent times. That's why people have got to go to councillors now. That should not be where we're throwing our line, who can sinker. We should be going to the private sector, including black business. But all of them are saying, governance, guys, come on, account. And if you cannot account, why should I give you my money?
And we hear you, a clean house is basically what attracts the right kind of visitors. Good luck for the elections. We know they'll be taking place in September. All the best to you. I mean, we have run out of time. There's still so much I wanted to talk to you about. I know you touched on women's football as well and potentially looking at professionalizing the women's game in South Africa, but we'll leave that for another day. That is the president of AmaZulu Football Club, Sandile Zungu, joining us this morning to speak on, of course, being one of the people putting his name into that ring for the SAFA Presidency come September 2026. That's the note in which we'll wrap up your sport news for now. Let's take you through to an ad break.